Welcome to the WorkHARDAholic Show with your host, the original WorkHARDAholic, Shirley Crawford, author, speaker, and small business consultant for over 20 years, helping you to work hard, play harder, and business better. Hello, and welcome back to WorkHARDAholics. This is Shirley Crawford, your host, the original WorkHARDAholic, and today I'm kind of excited because we've been waiting to have this conversation, right? So I consider myself to be America's auntie, but right now we have the one and only Uncle Marvin.
Hey guys, hello. Thank
So Marvin Harris of Harris Tax and Associates.
Harris Tax and Business Services.
Oh,
Yep, that's cool.
Make sure don't forget the business services. Don't slip or slide because there's a lot more to you than just taxes.
Absolutely.
But before we get into that, so you all want to stay tuned. You want to keep listening because not only we're going to learn a little bit more about the man, the myth, the legend, but we're also going to make sure that you understand how you should be taking care of your taxes, your tax situation. As I've said before, the IRS is the biggest gangster known to mankind and has taken down many other gangsters before. They will certainly take you down. But before we get there, let's start off with saying, okay, well, welcome, Marvin.
Thank you so much, and I feel so well. I feel good. I feel like I'm at home, and I'm
but
sorry.
You are at home.
I'm sorry it took me a while to get here, but I'm here now. I'm feeling wonderful. My name is Marvin Harris, but I feel like Marvin Gaye, and I'm ready to get it on. Let's get it on.
Y'all know we like a good song. You know we like a good song.
Because I heard it through the grapevine.
We'll go through the litany.
Oh, boy.
So what got you to Richmond?
Wow, what got me to Richmond? Very good question. I'll tell you, lost a child, and what wound up happening is I was in business for myself. My wife was a stay-at-home mom. We had 2 children, but lost a 3rd child. And no matter what, whenever she came down here to be with her sisters that had children in my existing children's age group, her spirit would come back to life and everything. She comes back to New York. Next thing you know is just like she wasn't feeling, herself. So I was like, you know what? Let's just relocate to Virginia, get a fresh start because New York is kind of depressing you. And I was a business owner and I was in my infant stages. So I was continuously working. So, and I didn't carry a child and lose a child. So that connection wasn't the same as it was for her. I felt bad, but I also have Muslim clients. And one time I was talking to a Muslim client of mine, and he was like, hey, look, brother, we believe that God, Allah, will allow man to live or die. And that's how we see life. And so I was like, oh, wow, is that interesting? So I started taking that thing on.
You control what you can control.
You control what you can control. So I was able to control the fact that, hey, let's go ahead, pick out a house. I didn't even come down here and pick the house out. She was with her sister.
That is a trusting relationship.
Yeah. I was like, pick the house out and, I'll come down and see the house. And if it's something worth having, let's do it. And that's what it was. Purchased the house, closed down the business in New York, came down here, and started to rock and roll. But I ran into some difficulties. My clients from New York did not want me to leave them and not prepare their tax returns.
Who doesn't want to hold on to a good thing? I mean, come on.
I heard it through the grapevine. No, I'm only kidding. But look, so what wound up happening is that I was commuting back and forth between New York and Virginia. I was hitting New York, DC, Maryland, Connecticut, up and down the eastern seaboard. And what that did was it created a little problem. The problem was that my wife said, look, I feel like a single mom. This is just crazy. So I wound up shutting the office down altogether in New York, had to rebuild from down here. And when I started rebuilding from down here, I had to get to know people. People didn't know me. They said, when I was out doing major seminars and things, people will often say, man, you talk too fast, you move too fast. We don't trust you guys from New York.
That northerner.
Yeah. So, but in New York, out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
So we really had to hustle. So when I came down here, I had that same intensity and found that it turned a lot of people off. So I had to learn to move slower, kind of get trust, build the trust, and then work from there. Well, doing that almost made me broke, you know? So with that being the case, I went and found a job, and I was hired at Virginia Union only when I was trying to uh, broker a deal. I used to hang out at Russell Simmons Art Gallery, hung out around some pretty wealthy people, and I knew that Russell Simmons had a lot of money that he was giving away to historic colleges, not just Black colleges. So I figured if I can broker a deal with Virginia Union, because I saw a building on the campus that looked like it needed some help. So I was like, wow, I'm
There
connected.
was a time where like ceilings were falling in and the whole nine. Yeah.
Yes. So I went to find the financial director to find out what's going on. Why is it looking like this? And he liked me and liked the conversation and was asking me if I would work for the company. I was like, well, no, I'm going back and forth to New York. Well, we'll make it worth your while. We'll accommodate you, things of that nature. So I came into Virginia Union, and then from there, I think the school had been in existence for about 175 years. I resigned my position because things were starting to build up, and I was just like, look, babe, I got to get to where that money is. My money is in New York, it's in Connecticut, it's in New Jersey. This is good money, it's all right. I got use of the company car and everything, but I'm used to making things happen quickly for my money. And so they created the assistant comptroller position. That position had never been there. My director decided to go to the shareholders, the board, and they decided to create this position.
Just for
keep
you.
this brother on. Yes. So I was the first, and they loved it. I loved it. But then after a while, it's still, I was used to earning a lot of money in a quick fashion.
And being your own boss.
And being my own boss. I was doing taxes and mortgages at the time. So, it was pretty lucrative for me. So, eventually I went back out into business for myself just wholeheartedly, went out prematurely. So this is my word to anyone out there. You might fall flat. You might have to start all over again from scratch. I've done it personally. I hit rock bottom, got up off the ground, dusted myself off, and shot my shot again.
And even so bold as to do it from one state to the next state. So not being cut off by geography either. Just keep going.
Right. I guess I was a little crazy, but
I would say
I was confident. And
you are
crazy
an entrepreneur. Like if you're not willing to take a risk, this is not the area for you.
No risk, no reward.
Indeed.
You're absolutely right.
All right. We just whet your appetite, people. Don't worry. We're coming back with more. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with more of Uncle Marvin.
Thank you.
Listen, attorney Alex Taylor is a soldier in a suit, defending anyone with criminal charges, DUIs, and more. Call Alex Taylor, your soldier in a suit, at 804-500-5000.
I'm Alex Taylor. Don't face your criminal charges alone. Put a former prosecutor with 30 years of experience on your side. Let me show you how a soldier fights for your freedom.
Call 804-500-5000 or go to alextaylorlaw.com.
Wouldn't it be convenient and safe to communicate with your dentist, pediatrician, medical doctor, or mental health professional anywhere you are without actually traveling to our medical centers?
Well, you can with a televisit at your local Capital Area Health Network. Call us at 780-0840 or go to cahealthnet.org. Find out how a televisit may be your best option. We are the Capital Area Health Network, the heart of the community.
During these challenging times, Richmond Dentistry for Children wants to remind you that we've been here for you and your children for over 25 years. Your child's body is their temple and their teeth are the doorway to good health. We provide compassionate pediatric dental care Monday through Friday. Call 804-780-2888 for your appointment or come to our office at 300 West Broad Street. RichmondDentistryForChildren.com, serving Central Virginia. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
Life can be a struggle. Find hope, healing, and answers at the Abundant Life Church of Christ, a place to encounter God through uplifting worship, singing, prayer, the preach word, and fellowship. One step can change your life. One step could shift your destiny. There has never been a better time to take that step than now. Come be our guest every Sunday at 10 a.m. at the Abundant Life Church of Christ, a place where you belong.
Ladies, are you ready for an afternoon of tea, networking, and inspiration? Join us for the annual Boss Ladies Who Tea event happening on July 15th at Meadowbrook Country Club. Sip on specialty teas, connect with like-minded women, and hear from guest speakers. Tickets are available on Eventbrite, so don't wait. Just search Boss Ladies Who Tea and get your tickets today. You don't want to miss this exclusive event.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. All righty then. So, for those of you who might have missed the beginning, here's the middle. Come back in and join and have some more fun. We are here with Marvin Harris of Harris Tax and Business Services. We're going to get that right. All right.
Got it.
So, we learned a little bit about what brought you to Richmond. All right.
Yes.
But even as you're operating and doing this business, like what was the reason that you even created Harris Tax and Business Services? Because the business services wasn't always a part of it.
It sure wasn't. And you're asking some really wonderful, deep questions. I'm
We
like,
wanna
I gotta
know."
give it all to her, But look, yeah. You know what wound up happening is I came out of Wall Street, and I was in Wall Street for a while. I was working with one of the top brokerage firms in
I have
Wall
to say,
Street
from Wall Street,
to Y'all Street.
Y'all
I went
know-
from Wall Street to Y'all
it's
Street.
got the best. It's got
I
the best
showed you-
taglines ever.
Thank you. I'm showing you the dirty secrets that they keep amongst themselves. Well, one of the things that happened is I realized that a lot of people do not get to build wealth. They don't know anything about wealth. It's a mystery to them. And because I was with one of the largest brokerage firms at the time, it was Bear Stearns, I was able to learn a lot. I learned a lot quickly. I had to learn a lot quickly because I was oftentimes in circles where I was the only one that looked like me. And because of that, people thought that they had misconceptions. They had never been exposed to some of us in these different type of environments. So my counterparts, they can make little mistakes and it's laughed off.
Mhm.
Me, I couldn't
Different
make
standard.
those mistakes. And I was just like, wow, this is stressful. Why is it like this? And then when I had 3 guys call me into their office, they pulled KKK mask out on, and they fashioned KKK mask when I walked in their office. This is on Wall Street. So I was like, Lord, these are guys I know. We cool. Billy, Tom, Danny. I was like, yeah. But they thought it was the most hilarious thing they had ever seen, the reaction on my face. I was born in Georgia, Crawfordville, Georgia, home of the Vice President of the Confederacy.
Yeah, no, we don't.
Come on now.
We don't find that amusing. Here, sidebar. Here at the Black History Museum,
Mhm.
they have an active. Well, he's deceased now. KKK's member. His whole outfit is there, and so like even when I go in and see it,
Yeah,
I am disturbed.
you have a right to be.
And so I even think about the process they went through when they were even setting it all up, and they
Yeah.
had this whole like
Yeah, they
ceremony and process. So I can't imagine the people that I'm working with. I might know in the back of my mind that they might be, But-
right.
but yeah, I don't see the humor in that one.
Right. And look, I was young and coming up out of the South Bronx, this was something because honestly, I didn't even know where I fit in Wall Street because oftentimes you just felt like you may have been a unicorn. So I was like, thank God I'm a fast learner because oftentimes information may not have been shared with me. I had to get it and get it quickly and be held accountable for it. So I was like, well, I'm going to learn everything I can. I asked God for a way out, gave me a way out, refinanced my house, took $50,000 out. And that's why it's important that you have 2 things if you want to build your wealth. You have to own where you lay your head and own where you bake your bread. If you own where you lay your head and own where you bake your bread, you can have financial ways out of some of these crazy situations. So I financed my freedom, financed it. And,
right.
so when you're moving with fire. Freedom is rarely experienced. Freedom is really expensive. You have to be ready to move. When you see a fire as a mammal, we're quite naturally thinking of doing one of two things. Either we're going to run towards the fire to put it out, or we're going to run the hell away from the fire. But whatever we're going to do, we're going to be doing it fast. So think fire. So that's what I did. I was like, I know so many people that need help. They're trying to buy homes. They just don't get it. Rappers getting contracts, NBA players not able to hold on to their money,
And
NFL players.
that is part of the thing that gets me, because even when certain people have access
Mhm.
to money, if we always talk about the whole rich dad poor dad education, if
Yeah.
you don't know what to do with the money,
Wow.
you just assume not have the money, because
Yes.
you're not going to have it for long.
You're not going to have it for long. And it's funny, there was a famous football player in the NFL, Taylor. And Lawrence Taylor was known for doing something very important. If a football player caught the ball, it was like, you got the bag. Okay, he's running with the bag. If he does not secure that bag, Lawrence Taylor had a move called the chop. And he would chop that bag right out of their arm. So meanwhile, he took the bag, he took the football, and that play may have cost them the game. So instead of winning, they lost. So what I do is I tell people, hold on to the bag, tuck the bag. I'm going to show you how to move with that bag. And then if you have to push that bag on to the next generation, I'll show you how to slide that bag on to the next generation. Because I went from Wall Street to Y'all Street, and that's what they did. They couldn't take it from me.
And now you're going to help others secure. Okay, so I love this other tagline that you have. I don't know if it's the New York. I don't know what it is. Okay, so Uncle Sam takes your money, but Uncle Marvin gets it back.
Absolutely, Shirley. Look, it's like this. If you are earning your money and you're not earning it the right way, there are certain things that will happen to you. You will most likely become overtaxed, and you have no way of knowing how to become overtaxed. You're continuously being overtaxed, so you don't want that. So there are ways in which you can earn money where your tax rates are treated differently. Matter of fact, there are things you can do when you earn money that you can invest in certain things and don't pay $1 in taxes, like capital gains tax. I have a guy that's about to sell a business worth $2 million. He's going to have a whole lot of capital gains. So what we're doing is we'll be meeting today, and I'm going to show him what he needs to do in order to avoid or definitely decrease the capital gains tax.
Okay. Don't give it all. Don't give it all.
Okay.
All right, because right now, we're about to go to another commercial break. If you want to learn more, first tell them how they can reach you.
Hey, you can reach me by calling me direct. Because I'm with Shirley, you can get my direct number, 804-329-1816. 804-329-1816. Just don't call me like 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock in the morning, because I do get that during tax season. I'm like, are you crazy? There's nothing I could do for you right now. And also, you can go on to www.harristaxandbusiness.com. www.harristaxandbusiness.com. You'll see all my other information, including the email address.
All right, you heard that? And we'll be back right after this commercial break.
Ladies, are you looking to move your office from your kitchen table to a space of your own? Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Are you looking for co-working and community? Well, then come join us at the Women's Business Center, RVA, located at 1510 Willow Lawn Drive, Suite 100, directly across the street from the Kroger at Willow Lawn. Visit us on the web at wbcrva.com or on social media at WBCRVA.
Are you ready to level up your smartphone videography skills? Want to learn how to capture better interviews, content, and learn how to edit using Canva? Whether you are a beginner looking to dive into the world of videography or an experienced creator seeking to enhance your skills, then our Learn by Doing workshops are for you. Reserve your spot and start creating incredible videos. Visit powerupvideo.com today. Click Workshops.
All right, now it's time for fashion and entrepreneurship with Ashley Jefferson.
Hi, I'm Ashley Jefferson, owner of Very Ashley, and welcome to today's segment of fashion and entrepreneurship. On today's episode, I want to discuss self-care, but not just any self-care, but self-care specifically for the busy entrepreneur. There are certain things that we need to do other than just taking yoga and meditation which are all very important, but I'm going to give you a list of things as a business owner or as a C-suite member or somebody that's starting their business, what they need to do to remind themselves that self-care is 100% important. First thing I need you to do is to prioritize your sleep. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are a business owner, if you're starting a business or if you're growing a business, sleep sometimes becomes a second, third, even a fourth priority. I have to remind you over and over again that you must get your sleep, okay? If you need to take little naps throughout the day, do that. Otherwise, make sure you get 6 to 8 hours worth of rest. Your brain cannot function if it does not have that rest. Second thing, establish boundaries with everyone in your life. Sometimes you actually might need to sit down and chart out all of the people and all of the areas that are in your life and literally sketch out the boundaries. How far can you go? How far will you allow them to push you? And do not come outside of that, especially when you have a huge deadline on the horizon or when you're really in the grind trying to get something done. Speaking of prioritizing sleep, I want you to take breaks throughout the day, at least twice a day. Take a 5-minute break and literally just sit there, close your eyes for 5 minutes. Set your timer. You need to rejuvenate your mind. You need to rejuvenate your body. So deep breathing during this time is excellent as well. The goal here is to always stay your best and to not overwork yourself to the point where you go down from exhaustion. Speaking of exhaustion, drink lots of water. Stay hydrated. Fluids really help you keep your brain going. Entrepreneurship and creativity are really one and the same. You cannot be creative and figure out how to get in and out of certain situations or how to balance books or how to do all the things if you're dehydrated and if you're overworked and if you're exhausted. So you must make sure that you have that taken care of. Next, delegate and outsource. When I talked about creating the list of all the people that are in your life, you need to create another list of every single task that you must do throughout the day. On that list, you need to delegate what can be done by somebody else. That way you can focus on what it is that you need to do. Here's a website that I love to use to delegate tasks, and that's Fiverr. I go to Fiverr all the time, and I delegate tasks there. I have an event coming up. It's the Fashion and Philanthropy Sunday Soiree. I've told you guys about that event already. You want to know something that I did? That backdrop, I'm not designing that backdrop. I went and paid a young lady $20 to design that backdrop for me. She did that in less than 12 hours. And then today I just sent it over to Uprint and they're going to have it in a week. These are things that saved me by paying her $20. It literally saved me a half a day worth of time trying to design that in Canva. I can't do it, but she can do it. So you have to outsource. Another thing that I outsource, my accounting. I hate numbers. I'm not going to do it. It could take me a week to balance a month's worth of transactions. My accountant loves to do that stuff. She'll do that in a couple of hours. Delegate and outsource all of your tasks. I mentioned already that you need to drink right, but another thing is eating. Please, taking care of your body is really important. So focus on fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, lean meats. And here's another thing that maybe your doctor won't recommend, but when you are under a lot of stress, sometimes if you're like me, you're a grazer. You eat as you think. I do that. Make sure you go to the store, get a lot of berries, get a lot of grapes, get a lot of little, salt-free crackers or anything like that. If you know that when your brain is thinking, you need to eat a lot, graze on things that are healthy for your body. And then factor in when you want to have those sweets. I'm not going to tell you not to eat the sweets. If you really want that Cinnabon, put that in. Say on Thursday, I'm going to go get that Cinnabon. Or on Thursday, I'm going to get that cupcake. Do that. Reward yourself through your food. Talk to your doctor because that might not be the best thing to do. But guess what, y'all? I give you entrepreneurship advice and not health advice. I just want your business to thrive. So with that, I am Ashley Jefferson, owner of Very Ashley. And thank you guys for tuning in on this episode of Fashion and Entrepreneurship on WorkHARDAholics. You can find me at vastylemag.com and shopveryashley.com and Shop Very Ashley on all social media accounts. Thanks so much, guys.
And coming up next, we have financial news you can use from Lawrence Roberts.
Hello, everyone. I'm Lawrence Roberts with Financial News You Can Use. Today, what I want to talk to you about is one of the very important investments for yourself and your family. We talk a lot about life insurance, which is still, and some people may say, I may not need no life insurance. What do I need life insurance for? What's the purpose of it? Oh, I just need enough for death benefit. I just need enough for burial. But that's fine and dandy if that's your belief, that's how you feel, and you don't care about anyone else but yourself. However, there are a lot of things, before we even go into that, what life insurance can do and all that other stuff, let's dispel some myths about it. Because life insurance is a very important part, again, a very important part of your financial portfolio. It is not the end-all, be-all of your financial portfolio, but it can be and should be a foundation because it protects your income. It allows you, if something were to happen to you, it allows your family to continue on so that your family don't miss a beat. Let's be real. We do not want to leave debt behind. Or at least you shouldn't want to. But some people don't care. That's your prerogative. That's you. All right. So again, we're going to talk about some myths and talk about the realities of it. Okay. Now, myth number one. I mean, there's no particular order, so I'm not even going to give you numbers on it. We're going to eliminate the numbers. One of the myths is people of color pay a higher insurance premiums. Well, that's not so. If that was possible, if it was, that would be totally illegal because it's redlining. But we had to stop that. That's not, saying. What causes the price of life insurance to change or increase or decrease is your health. Yes, some people may have high blood pressure, diabetes, historical, bad habits, and so on like that. But that's just the same as your occupation also, because that affects the life insurance too. Those people that have dangerous occupations may pay a slightly higher premium. If you're skydiving, you're going to pay a little more than that person that's a stamp collector. If you're a skydiver and you're a race car driver, you're going to pay a little more than that person that's a stamp collector or just sits at home and surfs the internet for their job. Okay? But all those things, that is important. Now, when you look at economics, it's all about economics also and being able to afford it. But the thing is, that should not preclude you or hinder you from getting the right amount of coverage to protect your family, because you have a lifestyle. You provide for your family, and that's what that's about. So those things there. One of the great things about your health, because if you have diabetes, you're overweight or whatever, those things can change. You have the power to change many of those things. It's up to you to make that change, okay? So plan today for tomorrow. Take advantage of today. Don't hold off and wait, I'm going to get better. No, do it now, all right? Another myth. If I buy life insurance, then something will happen to me. No, let's be real. The reality of it is this. We all have a time, we're all going to die of something. Some people are just afraid of death. When they start thinking about it, they're just afraid of facing death and afraid of talking about death. That's fine and dandy, but last time I checked, everyone leaves this earth sometime. So you got to look at that. How do you manage that? Let's not worry about it, okay? Fear of dying having or have not insurance does not change your probability of dying. That's the reality of it. You're going to die eventually. Another myth. I don't want to profit from death of my child or loved one. Well, how about this here? If something were to happen, how would it affect you financially? We're not profiting from it, but we're also looking at things happen. We have no control over many things that happen in this world. Not to mention, if you look at all the different mass shootings that's happened in this country today, this year alone has been more mass shootings than days in a year. That's bad. Okay. So another myth. The Lord, I'm going to slow this one down. The Lord will provide, therefore I don't need to take take any action for life insurance? Great. The Lord also made it possible for you to get life insurance. You're also providing for your family. All right? Now, I'm going to just say it this way here real quick and easy. When you look at things like that, 1 Timothy 5:8, but if anyone does not provide for his own and especially for those of his household, he has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. What that really means is this: you provide for your family in life and in death. That's your responsibility. That's your job. Don't hurt your family because the Lord will provide. The Lord made it possible so that you can provide for your family in life and in death, because death is going to come. And more on that topic earlier that we talked about on your next episode. I'm Lawrence Roberts with New York Life. You can reach me at 804-746-3714, or you can also find me on my website, lawrencevroberts.com. Again, I'm Lawrence Roberts with New York Life. Thank you.
All righty. Thank you once again to our sponsors who make this show possible. All right. As you should know, if you've been listening in, we're here with Uncle Marvin. Do people just walk up to you in the street and be like, "Hi, Uncle Marvin"?
Sometimes they do. Yeah. Sometimes they're looking for the cartoon character as well. Like.
It is cute. It is a cute
little.
it's a part of his logo if you haven't seen it. All right. And so we've been talking about the history of what got you here, a little bit more about how you got started in business and the why. But before the commercial break now, you start dropping the nuggets that we all want to hear. So you're talking about capital gains. Starting there, you're talking about the client that you're working with. Now, for those who might not be as educated about all these things, let's start by even explaining what capital gains are. I would love for you also to share about living trust. We're really talking about money and what we can do with it.
Yes.
Let the people know.
All right, cool. Look, there are many ways to earn money in America. You can earn it by going out and working as an employee, and you will receive what we call a W-2. You can earn it as a contractor, and you will receive a 1099. And you can also earn money as being an investor or a business owner. Now, when you're an investor or a business owner, one of the things that happens is when you sell an asset, such as a business, a building, any of these capital investments that you have, then if you do it right, you should have a gain. If not, you'll have a capital loss. We try to push for capital gains here. You don't really want a capital loss. That means that you paid for something and you sold it for less than what you paid for. And why would you do an investment like that? It doesn't quite make sense the Wall Street way, even though sometimes you can't determine what's going to happen with the market. But if you do your homework up front, you can minimize your loss. Or if you see that you're having a situation where the train is getting off the track, put the train back on track, sell quickly, and move on to the next thing. Well, if you have a capital gain, you can offset that capital gain with some type of other investment. This wonderful thing is I also have real estate investment. So what you can do, there are places where you can take your money to, such as a place called the Opportunity Zone. You can actually take the capital gain that you've gotten from some other way, such as selling an asset, a business or investment asset, and you can then take that money and put it into the Opportunity Zone. If you put the money into the Opportunity Zone, you don't pay any taxes on it. Another way you can do is this. Let's say you have a building and you're into real estate. You can do what we call the 1031 exchange as well. You can take and you can go out and acquire other buildings. Well, people say, well, why should I do that? Why should I take the $250,000 that I just made? Why can't I just take it and run with it? What's going to happen to my money? No, go ahead, invest it in the other buildings or the other properties that you're looking to do, and then you refinance them and you pull the money back out by way of refinance, and you do not pay $1 in taxes on a refinance because that's considered to be a loan.
And this is part of the reason why we always say you need experts.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So you don't have time to have to, know what's going on with ERC and every other tax law and everything else. You don't have time to bother with that. You need to be running your business.
Yes.
Or if you're an employee, you need to be doing the business.
Yes.
But I want to go back to opportunity zones because I'm always fascinated
zones.
because there are so many things that you all can be doing. But when we talk about opportunity zones, there's so many benefits, right?
Yes.
Because like if you're in like the center where we're located is in Henrico County.
Okay.
There's an opportunity zone, not here, unfortunately.
Oh, okay, okay. I was about to say this is an
Not
opportunity
here,
zone,
but across the street it is. So where they built up the new library, all of that was an opportunity zone. So it's also an opportunity for you to partner with your county, right, to create projects, and then they give you like special grants to because opportunity zones are considered blight areas. Areas where like nothing's happening, it's dead, and they want to revitalize. So they do that by giving you a little bit of money and some benefits. Or if you have a building in an opportunity zone, you can get grants to, fix the outside of the building. They want to make it look pretty. So these are now more opportunities for you as the opportunity. As the entrepreneur, to make some money and get the government to give you some too.
Absolutely, and it's funny that you mentioned that, Shirley, because in most opportunity zones, there's also the thing called the enterprise zone. Now, the enterprise zone works like this. You have local, state, and federal money put together to help you build out the property. You can get security systems. You could do the renovations. Why they even allow, there's money in there to even help you hire people. So they're giving in the city of Richmond 50 cents on the dollar. Most people do not know about the enterprise zone. I've gone to the enterprise zone and been one of the only persons there to look like me. It's not like the word is out there. You have to find these monies and locate them. Well, in the enterprise zone, you don't pay that money back. You just go there, you tell them what you're doing.
Grant, not loan. Notice we're talking about a grant, not a loan.
Yeah. They'll give you that money. And so but the thing is, if you are interested in purchasing commercial property, you do want to get with a commercial realtor. I would recommend that because those commercial realtors will have the maps of what is the opportunity zone and what is the enterprise zone. They're two different zones. Now, if you're looking to take your capital gains and not pay taxes on it, you definitely want to go and try to invest that money into an opportunity zone. If you have real estate and you want to go ahead and sell some of your real estate and avoid capital gains tax, you have two choices. You can do the 1031 exchange. The only thing about the 1031 exchange is there are time frames in which you have to do certain things. You have to notify the government that you plan on using the 1031 exchange. You have to identify the properties and you have to go ahead and close out on those properties. So then they came up with the opportunity zone. Opportunity zone, you don't have to notify the government that you plan on taking your capital gains and reinvesting them. These wealthy people make the laws. So the thing is, you just got to follow what they're doing if you want to be successful. Can I tell you the ABCs of wealth real quick?
Give it to them.
One of the things is this: Wall Street to Y'all Street, right? Any asset, unprotected or secured, will be lost and or stolen. An asset, whether it be financial, whether it be your health, whether it be your relationships with others. So you have to protect your assets or they will be lost and or stolen. Another thing is this: if you want to build a better company, ABC, a better company, you have to have a bigger commitment. Those are the ABCs. A better company, a bigger commitment. That's the problem, Shirley. A lot of people aren't really willing to commit.
To do the work. That's the bottom line.
Freedom is rarely experienced.
We are happy to be here to provide resources to you like Uncle Marvin. As you can see and hear, he is passionate about his subject matter and educated about it.
Thank you.
So if you are looking for tax services, we didn't get a chance to get into the living trust, but if you're looking for that information as well, please be sure to contact Uncle Marvin. Give him your contact information one more time.
Once again, 804-329-1816. That is 804-329-1816. Or you can get other information by going to www.harristaxandbusiness. www.harristaxandbusiness. Reach out to me and you will see your life will be changing for the better. That's what we're pushing for. We are definitely pushing for progressive-minded people.
Well, we always support life-changing experiences for you all, especially when it comes to your economics, your finances, and your future. So as we always like to say, live better, do better, be better, and happy entrepreneuring.
Bye.
Ta-ta!
Bye-bye.
Like, share, subscribe, repeat. Like, share, subscribe. subscribe, repeat, repeat, repeat. Thanks for tuning in to WorkHARDAholics. Support our show by following on YouTube and all major social media platforms at WorkHARDAholic. Until next week, happy entrepreneuring.